Today marks 1 year since President Biden first took office. As our Allison Harris has been reporting on Morning in America, the president acknowledged the anniversary with a press conference. Actually, Allison was there among many journalists who were able to ask the president questions one-on-one. And he pushed back at one reporter's suggestion that he misled voters on what could reasonably be accomplished under a joint Democratic White House and Congress.
Can you think of any other president's done as much in 1 year? Name one for me.
I'm asking you.
I'm serious. You guys talk about how nothing's happened. The fact of the matter is we got an awful lot done.
Julia Manchester from The Hill is joining me now. And Julia, I would have to say the president is making a point that really might be better worded as, do you know of a president who has faced quite as much in his first year in office? Would you say that?
Yeah, good morning, Adrienne. I think you make a very good point in terms of his phrasing, because context is clear here when you look at the Biden administration. President Biden has certainly faced a very unique situation as a first-term president, coming into office during a global pandemic, an economic downturn, as well as essentially a very divided nation after the January 6th attack on the Capitol. So he has faced unique challenges. That being said, though, Adrienne, there are other presidents who have also faced unique challenges during their first 100 days, including Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who really set the stage for what has become a litmus test for presidents during their first 100 days in office. During his first 100 days, he essentially laid the pillars for the New Deal when so much of America was in an economic downturn during the Great Depression. After that, you had Harry Truman, who had to take on the presidency after FDR died during World War II, and he had to make a gut-wrenching decision to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki to essentially end the war with Japan. So certainly other presidents, President Obama, as President Biden would know, faced a major economic downturn, had to sign that stimulus package into law during his first 100 days. So I think context is really key here.
You know, and President Biden is known for being an emotional president at times, you know, openly weeping at times and expressing his outrage at times, though measured compared to possibly some other recent presidents in history. But among other things, you mentioned FDR. He's famous for lifting the national mood following the Great Depression. How much do Americans expect President Biden to do something similar after the past couple of years really did impact people, their livelihood, their desire to be out in public, the fact that we were all so isolated? How important is that in terms of this national conversation and moving forward past the pandemic?
Yeah, I think that was certainly an expectation of Americans when Biden took office, particularly those who voted for him, whether they were Democrat, Independent, or Republican. You know, Biden, we have to remember, he took office just weeks after the Capitol for the first time in history was attacked. And we're still feeling the repercussions of that attack and how divided the country is. And we saw during his inaugural address just 1 year ago that he mentioned unity so many times. And I think he was hoping to use unity to really lift up the national mood. The problem is we're still living in this pandemic. We're still struggling from the economic impacts of this pandemic. There's still a lot of foreign policy issues happening around the world, whether it's the pullout from Afghanistan or the situation on the Russia and Ukraine border. So I would say the national mood is very low, and Republicans going into the midterms are trying to take advantage of that. So right now you see the Biden administration and Democrats looking to get a major legislative win through voting rights, but at the time being, at least, it seems like that is failing.
Yeah, and that may not necessarily lift a lot of people's spirits at this particular time either. Julia Manchester, thank you as always.
Thank you, Adrienne.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.